How stupid can Kayla and Melissa be? Welcome to the Challenge Takes podcast, the hottest challenge takes on the internet. I'm Joe Puglisi, accompanied by Brian Smith.
Hello.
Here he is, and we are here for episode 1 of season 32, Vendettas. I got it wrong this time, damn it.
Final Reckoning.
Final Reckoning.
You're still living in 4 months ago.
Oh, jeez, I did it.
Vendettas Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
Dirty Vendetta Final Reckoning.
Something like that. That's what
Final
they're calling
Dirty
it.
Vendetta Reckoning.
I think that's it.
30.
Is that it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Even though most of what happened this episode has nothing to do with the last 2 seasons, but regardless.
No, but that didn't stop them from airing like 10 minutes of the last 2 seasons of footage on this episode.
It's definitely what we wanted to see.
Yeah. I mean, we even managed, they already got it done episode 1, like they do every season, but we already got a nice Bananas backpack clip in there thrown in. Like, they can't help themselves.
Yeah.
So, that's got to find its way in, and it did rather quick. I'm just waiting for the Sarah Rice clip to make it in.
And that's about the most extent we'll talk about CT in this episode, because he was non-existent. Old man's got to go to bed early, can't hang around with the kids anymore.
No, yeah, he didn't do much, and neither did Veronica. They had their little segment where they paired up, and that was it. And honestly, the rookie's got a good amount of time on the show.
Yep.
So good for them. And if this show is any gateway into the rest of the season, it's gonna be bonkers.
Oh yeah.
Gonna be crazy.
Already is bonkers.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff went down in this episode 1, and we're gonna jump right into that. But first, I want to make apparent what I just spoke of in the opening words is just how stupid Kayla and Melissa are when there's a sole. Which I didn't know about, by the way. I thought it was a $1 million pot. It is a sole $1 million to the 2 winners, so $500K each. And they are too dumb to even consider that for themselves and their partner. Lesser so their partner because they hate them. But they couldn't even consider that for themselves.
Nope.
Complete idiots.
Melissa was the one, I think, instigating it. And Kayla wasn't backing down, and then she got close and sent her for a ride, and then Melissa took a swing back, and then we didn't really see much else. It was just kind of a little scrum, but
yeah. It wasn't like, some CT punching Adam nonsense. Ain't gonna be on the highlight reels.
No. But
it's enough to get sent home, and you're so stupid for it.
And you potentially screwed over your partners.
Potentially, even though it's TJ left quite the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
What could be next?
Well,
hopefully
now that we got
a challenge.
Hopefully a challenge, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we got the end of the episode out of the way, let's jump back to the beginning.
So let's start from square one. Brian, lead us off.
Well, they roll up to this first challenge, and TJ informs them all that they will have to, or their biggest vendettas are buried, or the past never stays buried, and their biggest vendettas are buried in these coffins.
6 feet under, yo.
Yep.
Probably not. It looked like a hole 3 feet under.
Yeah, about that. And they have these these radios that they have to use to find their partners.
Give some directions. The people in the coffin know where they're buried, and they gotta guide their partner.
Yeah, and the last 2 teams are automatically eliminated.
Yeah, out of here.
TJ being shady by only 2 teams, but then as we found out, it ended up being 3.
Because TJ's always got twists.
Which ended up being the bottom 3 anyway, but regardless.
Yeah, it doesn't, But we'll get there.
Yeah.
So, start us off on that.
Almost immediately, Zach rushes his ass down there and pulls out.
Yeah, I believe Zach and Nelly were the first 2.
Yeah, and pulls out none other than Satan's asshole herself, Amanda. Did not seem thrilled to have her as a partner.
As did most of the people on this show. Most of them didn't seem very thrilled about their partner.
Yeah.
Except for Shane and Nelly, who acted like they hate each other.
Well, maybe they do.
Maybe they did as of this episode, but they're pretty
According
chill.
to Shane, there's also sexual tension there, so you never know.
They're awesome. That's
That's your favorite? Is that your favorite team?
well, they're right now as of episode 1. They didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah, Nelson was quiet, really quiet.
Yeah, but I have a feeling within the first few episodes, there's gonna be at least 1 or 2 crazy moments with them, and it's just gonna solidify that they're my favorite team here, unless Joss and Sylvia can kick it into gear, and but they were also quiet.
Yep.
This episode, they started the whole Joss romance stuff, but like they're pretty low key.
Was chilling in a nice wig while that fight was going on.
Yeah, just ridiculous. And wow, Bananas also had like a feather like drape thrown around his neck, so they're in costume mode while this fight was going down.
So that preview came out a couple weeks ago, and we quickly kind of just saw Zach skirt down there and dig out Amanda. So it made it was very quick and simple. They made it seem like it was actually easy to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But as we found out with a lot of these teams, finding the actual hole to dig out your partner was very difficult, particularly Jenna.
Yeah, she really couldn't get there.
I don't think Jenna even dug anything up. She was just walking around. Like, I don't think, did she actively dig anything?
I'm trying to remember if she got her hands dirty. I feel like she did, but
and poor Brittany dug up 3 holes, and none of them were the right one.
Damn, Chuck needs to get better at directions.
Yeah, clearly.
Don't want to get lost.
I don't think Jemmy was giving bad directions. I just think Jenna had no clue where she was doing.
Yeah, I think it was on the other end, the digger's end on that one.
Yeah. But I have the full list here of how they placed during this.
I guess I was about to say, hopefully we'll see a challenge. I guess we did.
Yeah.
We did. We see.
It was just
quick.
It was quick and to the point.
Yeah.
They usually they kind of have to do something like this because they have to introduce a lot of what's going to go.
There's a lot of people that are showing up. 30 faces, right?
Yeah. Well, 30 once Bananas' partner shows up.
29 faces are showing up. They gotta get everybody in.
You made note of
you.
We didn't get to catch it when we tried to rewind, but Bananas was up here. It was in the coffin messing with CT. You thought?
No, yeah, okay. So yeah, he was in the coffins, and they play that at the end, and like everyone digs him up, and it's like here's CT. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, not CT. Here's Bananas. But I could have sworn, and when we rewound, we couldn't find it. But I swear that there was a quick part when CT is looking for Veronica that Bananas manages to get on his radio waves, and he's like talking to him, and he's like, and CT's just like, Bananas, get off the line, and trying to talk with Veronica.
Yeah, so I have the whole list here. So Amanda and Zach 1, Nelson and Shane 2nd, Natalie and Polly were 3rd, which I think that was just more of a communication thing where Natalie was able to actually get to him relatively quick. Cam, Melissa, Marie and Cara, Tori and Derek, Sylvia and Joss, Kayla and Kaylee, Brad and Kyle, CT and Veronica. A bit of a lackluster showing for them.
Yeah.
Angela and Faith, and then finally Jose and Davon, just barely beating out Chuck and Brittany for the last.
And that would be 12th place or 13th?
12th. Yes.
Okay, 12th place. Yeah, because there's 15 teams, but Bananas.
Yeah.
All right, so that would be 12th place, which means 13th and 14th place were Brittany and Chuck, and Jenna and Jemmy, which means you gone. You out of here.
Also, did we mention that Jenna asked Zach and Amanda for help?
She did.
Because she had no clue what she was doing.
Yeah.
She hadn't even started digging yet. They were already out of the thing.
And you know very well that Zach absolutely would have helped, same way that Brad would have helped Brittany, but because at first I was like, oh, Zach's just going to dig this up. He's going to figure this out for her. But then a couple minutes later, I saw Brad waiting in the rings yelling to Brittany to go to help. So clearly producers are like, nope, no way. You got to go sit over here. So because I really thought that Zach was just gonna grab a shovel and dig up every hole there until he got him.
So with Jenna being gone this early, I'm not gonna get too braggadocious. Everyone knows that I'm not a fan of Jenna. Mm-hmm. And if this happened to, all I'm gonna say is this happened to someone else. Like if Kayla flopped hard like this in the beginning of a challenge, she would be getting so much shit right now.
Right.
And Jenna is notoriously been one of the most overrated competitors ever. And what did she do here? She literally was last out of 13 people.
She couldn't even find the grave dig.
So everyone saying that it was going to be all Jemmy's fault
are completely wrong.
Jenna's got to carry Jemmy. It's all Jemmy's fault. Nope. Jenna was the worst person in this challenge.
Easily.
Not gonna get too excited because they're in redemption.
Yeah.
I would prefer if Jenna went home soon. That way Zach doesn't have to waste his time talking about her too, because that relationship, which they also talked about, is not something I'm interested in seeing.
Yeah. And we're gonna get there's a lot of relationship
brewing build the new
episode.
Relationships, not this old stuff that's been going on for like since 2015. That is like just a never-ending cycle of Zach and Jenna.
Yeah. So that's what we got there, and then they go to the final lineup where TJ talks to them about what's going on, tells the two teams you gonzo, and then he drops a little mini bombshell because that's what TJ does, and he lets them know that first place, which is Zach and Amanda, get to immediately choose a team to eliminate.
Yep.
And
it was pretty much drew the line right away that they're politically this team's going to have issues because
absolutely
they made the safe decision here, but in the future it's going to be a problem because they both have friends on opposite sides.
Yeah.
But they're such a strong team that they're going to be put in a position of power a lot, I feel like. So
this was a lackluster choice. He really went safe here, and they decided that they were going to eliminate Jose and Devon instead of choosing another strong team, or even what I was saying was to just choose straight up Bananas and question mark partner.
Amanda confirmed on Twitter that she couldn't choose Bananas. She wanted to.
All right, there was
so there you go.
So what TJ and producers gave that a no-go?
Bananas got a pass.
Oh, that's so dumb.
Well, then his partner they were going to fly the partner in and then send him straight to redemption.
You're out of here. Funny. Spoilers. And
oh yeah, spoilers. I actually don't have a problem with who they voted out because the thing is like, well, it's just such a safe pick to not have any blood on your hands. You're so early in this game, and you think maybe they had a thought that there was going to be a redemption.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that was actually what was going through their head at the time.
Yeah, I mean, but all these? How many of the most recent 5 seasons have had a redemption house? Just one, just 30-30?
Just 30-30, yeah. But then again, a big purge like this where multiple teams go out, it's a little fishy. I could see them.
What was the other season? There was another season that had a little prototype house. It was unaired.
X's
Yeah.
Too, yeah.
It was an unaired.
That was the first time they ever did anything like that, so they were completely off guard by that. But yeah, they obviously none of them were gonna pick their friends because they want to hang out with them, and they just got there. So the only other team they maybe could have went with was maybe Paulie and Natalie. If you were gonna get rid of a big brother team,
and I was gonna say
a decent one.
I was gonna say I think the writing was on the wall that there's a redemption house in this season because the only other season to do a massive purge like this in the beginning was Dirty 30.
Yeah.
The one that eliminated 6 people immediately, and then this season.
And that's another thing. See what happened to Corey that season when he made the big move to send Darrell home. Everyone was like, "Oh, Corey's coming in guns blazing. We got to get rid of him." And then he was gone.
Gonzo.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe that's a hot take, but the Jose and Devon pick really wasn't that big of a deal to me.
I think I don't necessarily think that's a hot take. I think that's a very logical string of thought to come to mind. I think the difference there is that Zach and Amanda are better than Corey.
They're actually a legit strong team. So, but is it not a good comparison still?
No, I think it's good. I think it's a good comparison.
It's relevant. Yeah. What else was I going to say about this? All right, like I said, they're not going to send home someone they're friends with, right? So Amanda wasn't going to send Sylvia Joss home or Nelson home, or Zach wasn't going to send Kyle home because he's friends with him.
Exactly.
Or CT.
So what segment did it move in next? The house segment? I think they all just ran.
Oh yeah,
stormed the castle.
I loved this. Within about 5 seconds of being into the house, Angela and Shane were already fighting with each other.
Yeah.
And Angela
it was really quick.
And Angela even acknowledging, I'm already getting mad. Here we go. As she's fighting with Shane over a closet.
Yeah. She said something later in the episode in the confessional. I don't remember the word for word, but it was about throwing fisticuffs.
Well,
with
she's
the
from
fight.
Bad Girls Club.
Yeah. So
she's used to throwing fisticuffs.
Right. That's what we're saying. What is Bad Girls Club?
I feel like we explained this on a podcast once.
Did we?
It's bad girls living in a house.
So they just hit each other.
I mean, sometimes, yes.
And the producers allow it.
To some extent, probably.
Right. Okay, I wasn't sure if this was some kind of all girls fight club thing going on.
No,
she
not.
Just throws fists with people.
It's not like that. It's a reality show.
Okay.
where they're living in a house.
Gotcha.
You could probably make a Bad Girls Club season out of like, just take like 6 or 7 girls from this season, throw them in there, and boom, you got a Bad Girls Club. Kayla and Melissa, 2 easy choices right there.
There you go. Yeah, well, I mean, Melissa sure fight anything.
And then throw Cam in there. She can be like the nice one.
But then when push comes to shove, sure F you up.
I mean,
That would
Sylvia
work.
could play that role too.
Yeah. You could really. Well, I guess you could probably do that with like any iteration of the challenge.
Yeah,
Just like because like a lot of the girls are feisty on the show.
but more so now than I think they've ever been.
Yeah.
Because there's only one legit, like, Cara's the only like real legit like athlete out of all the girls at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, that are on the season right now.
Yeah, that are on the show. So, and there's 17 girls.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So basically,
not to say they're bad competitors, but yeah.
Basically, they stormed the castle, and Nelly was booking. I mean, you're like, what the hell, man? Like, this was a full sprint. I mean, he got down. He couldn't get down the mountain as fast as he was doing this. Like, this was incredible. Like how fast he was going.
Running.
No,
Really running that fast?
it was insane how fast he was going.
So Bananas got beat in the foot race to the house for once.
Yeah, I believe Nelly was first in.
Oh wow,
and
maybe that was what he was going for. He's like, Bananas is always the first asshole to the house, so I'm gonna beat him this time.
He looked like he was running a 100-meter dash, like because they have like a little bridge to the house, and my God, was he booking down it? And it's all about getting those rooms, and everybody's filling up. Yeah, and we had some Angela and and Shane fighting, and honestly, I couldn't figure out what was being said. There was too many sensors,
Yeah.
and like a lot of like ambient noise
Shane
in the
made fun of
hallway.
her- Shane made fun of her fake assets.
So it was kind of a blur to me, and it just wasn't really important, like in my mind, because I kind of just couldn't hear what was happening. So was that all that ended up happening in that first segment before they moved to?
I took note that Kayla ditched out of that. Melissa came in one of the rooms to like see this is my bed, and then right when Kayla saw that Melissa was coming in there, she immediately ditched out and ran to another room.
Right.
So again,
That didn't last long.
well, I mean, they were gonna live in a separate room, but yeah, them living in the house didn't last long.
Yeah. And so now I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the next segment would have been the Redemption House?
No.
No. Okay, what is
No.
next?
We had Natalie talking with Paulie about the game, and Natalie explaining that she does not care for Bananas and Kaylee. Again, lying out of her ass by saying that her and Bananas hooked up. No, they didn't. And no, they did not date after the show. This is all a bunch of horseshit is what it is.
I don't know what to believe with this girl.
This is what rubs me the wrong way about Natalie. Like, she's a good competitor for the show, and she plays hard games. But 50% of what comes out of her mouth is not, like,
It's more
legit.
than that. She is so dislikable. Like, I like, people throw around, like, oh, you're fake all the time on reality shows.
Yeah.
For the past 20 years in reality TV, calling someone fake has just been the thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always felt like, these people still have something. Like, most people, when they call someone fake, they're, like, exaggerating. But Natalie, I
It's to another
can't find anything true about this woman at
I'll tell
all. Nothing about her is real.
I'll tell you
Everything's a facade.
I'll tell you what's real about her. And this ties into her vendetta with Kaylee, because Kaylee basically put it out there that Natalie is into women, not men, a few months back, which now she's in fact dating a woman. It's been confirmed that Natalie's now dating a woman, so she's not even into guys.
So I guess that doesn't necessarily put a nail in the coffin on whatever happened with her and Nelly or Bananas.
She didn't have anything romantic with them.
Yeah, but it doesn't, that doesn't mean that she's not attracted to them or anything. She can do whatever she wants in her relationship, love life.
Yeah.
But just anything I saw from last season was just a massive facade, and so like
The fake
fake
dates.
that it would like make me frustrated, and all of that feeling has carried over to this season. Nothing has changed so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this girl just rubs me the wrong way, and yeah, she's a pain in the butts to me.
What were your first thoughts on Paulie? Because it's the first time you've ever seen him on anything. I've seen him on 2 shows. So.
Vanilla midget.
You think he's a vanilla midget?
Yeah, he's just like, he's got nothing to me.
Well, it's
Nothing
one,
on the table.
It's one episode, so
Yeah, but you know, I'm an open kind of guy. If he shows me what he's got, like I'm not gonna dismiss it. So you know the jury's still out for me on him. So whatever he's got to show, I'm open to seeing it. But right now, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Speaking of fake dates. I'm not even getting into that because that's a whole nother topic. We then get not the revelation that's making it seem like it's this big buildup. Joss and Amanda are getting very acquainted with one another, we'll say. Joss calls her a little pocket rocket, as is his terminology, I guess, his British slang. And then they had a very somewhat awkward kiss in front of the house.
Yeah, they're thrown into that situation.
Yeah. So, Joss and Amanda, a very attractive couple, I will say. Look forward to seeing more of them together. And it's pretty easy. Sylvia a little bit jealous, maybe?
I wasn't thinking so.
No, I don't think she is either. I'm making
No.
But because Amanda is her good friend, so that is should be a tight knit alliance right there. Again, if
they can
all
pull
depends on
Zach into that,
yeah.
If they can pull Zach into that just makes them like the strongest.
And they'll
group
have Nelson
by
and
far.
Shane too, so that is a power alliance if those three get on the same page.
Yeah.
So moving on to another.
Hang on, I gotta stop you there real quick because I just realized something. Have we talked about how CT was like not on the show at all?
Yeah, we right off the top we said
yeah,
we weren't gonna
immediately.
talk about CT much.
But goddamn, Brad has not been on this show
Brad wasn't on the show at all. Either.
at all.
Wait, I think he talked about being into Brittany and then he disappeared.
Yeah, and they just showed us 4 minutes.
It seems like most of the teams have like
season.
one partner that like did a lot while the other one didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like Zach did nothing when he got to the house.
No, yeah. But that was all. It was the Kyle show for that team, and that's what
Yeah.
you're gonna see all season. Let's be honest.
Brad was kind of he was like in it a lot in the beginning of Vendettas, and then he kind of fizzled out towards the end.
Right.
And especially if Brittany's not going to be around, I don't know if we'll be seeing much of Brad this season. To be honest, outside of like challenges.
Yeah, because he's kind of like Zach last season, and probably this season, where they're just gonna stay out of it. It's
Yeah,
just
drama,
like it's
yeah.
just kind of their nature.
Mhm.
He's too old for this shit. He
Yeah.
gets it.
He can't be fighting over pizza anymore.
Yeah, he gets it. He knows.
So we cut to first we had a segment where Kyle and Cara, where they both seem to it was hard to read these two together because like it seems like they both like each other, but they also like want to hook up with other people at the same time. Like they were both jealous over each other's like flirtations going on.
Yeah, there's some tension going on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like Cara still wanted Kyle. Kyle
Didn't
wanted Cara as a side chick, just like as
Probably,
a casual
yeah.
thing, and she was kind of like also wants him as a casual thing, but was floating the idea of a serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then within minutes, Kyle
was making out with
Faith and pretty much resorted Cara to being like, okay, so it's just moving away from whatever thoughts I had.
Yeah, Derek H doing the best thing he's ever done the challenge with the little head poke out of the window when they were making out.
That is currently the reigning moment of the season.
The meme of the episode.
That is the meme of the episode for sure, and I give it to. I think that will be the top moment of the season until like either Tony does something outrageous, or like something like
spoiler
really
on
goofy.
Tony.
That is not a spoiler.
We already talked
it's in
about
a
it
preview.
in her preview. Yeah.
Like until like something crazy Tony time happens, or like something ridiculously hilarious. Like maybe one of the things that usually gets cut and they put on the shit they should have shown stuff, like comes on, like something that they actually get to air that's like really funny. Mm-hmm. If something like that airs, then it might top this. But this Derrick Henry face, it's way too funny. He beat in a single moment. He beat every face Tori has ever made combined.
Yeah, well, Tori's faces are not. Does she think they're funny? Because they're not.
I'm sure she probably does if she keeps making them.
People think that's funny.
I'm sure people out there do.
Oh God.
It might not be our cup of tea, but I'm sure people are into it. And
See, that to me is doing stuff for attention just as much as anything, because she knows the camera's on her and it's going to show her when she's making those goofy faces.
Yeah.
But anyway, then it was time for the Redemption House.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, which I honestly can't even remember much that was going on.
Okay, it was really, really casual.
Yeah.
And first off, this house is
TJ. I like that TJ was just sitting there in the chair, chilling, waiting for him in the dark.
I will say this house on the exterior pulls no punches. It's like a really casual looking home. The Redemption House, and it's like really separated from anything. It's not in the city like it was in Dirty 30 or whatever. But the interior was pretty damn nice. It was pretty luxurious, just like the Challenge House itself. And they were given some like ambiguous, news about what they're going to be doing, about how they can come back. But I don't know. But they're not all competing, kind of thing.
TJ hinted something about pay attention to what's going on, which could make me think that maybe they're going to be given hints about like stuff that's happening in the house while they're like chilling there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like some sort of like goofy haunted house thing, or like
maybe
how many times did the lights flicker last night? Like in a trivia game.
I don't know. I just took note of him saying that because like that was interesting.
Yeah. So. I missed that part, so I really had no clue where he was going with the conversation.
He wouldn't have said that if it wasn't leading to something.
Exactly.
Because most of the Redemption House was filled with just them talking to each other. So
yeah, they were just chatting it up, and I mean that's what Redemption House was in Dirty 30. They were just chatting it up until it came time to compete. They were just on vacation.
Much. And Jenna did win the last redemption that she was in. So
yeah. Who would you say of these three? I'm sure more teams will be added because there were quite a few more beds. My guess would be probably about 6 teams will be added before they come.
6. Probably.
There was a good amount of beds.
Maybe
there was like
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah. I guess that would end up being 12 people, which might be a lot. Yeah, maybe 10 people.
Yeah.
Because that Redemption House has got some more space. And who do you think of these 3 so far? Because more are to come. Who do you think of these 3 is most likely to return?
I'll say Chuck and Brittany.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go Chuck and Brittany too. Definitely not Jenna and Jemmy, and I think Jose and Devon have a chance. Because we haven't really seen them. I mean, this Devon girl was saying that she's,
Devon was not happy, by the way, about being sent home. She's
like,
oh, it's saying, pussy move.
I'm gonna F you up, I'm strong, I'm good, blah blah blah, and talking a big game. And I was kind of looking at it, I was like, hey, she could actually be good. Maybe we're all underrating this girl. So maybe they got a chance, but I'm gonna go with right now the proven person in Brittany being in the house, because there's 3 vets in that house and 2 of them have proven to be useless.
And I think Chuck is better than Jose. So even though he hasn't done anything yet in the challenge, you can't get much worse than Jose. Jose was one of the first people down to his coffin, and he's barely finished in time.
Yeah. So there you have it on the Redemption House. That's about all that happened in there, besides them having very meaningless kind of small talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what ended up going on next in the show?
So we cut back to the house where this Kyle and Cara thing continued. Kyle said he didn't want Cara, so Cara decides that she's gonna take it upon herself to go up to a guy that she knows is in a relationship in Paulie.
Mm-hmm.
And says, basically, I want you to straddle me, was one of the lines she said, by the way.
I missed that.
Paulie was sitting on top of his little bunker there.
Yeah, climbed real high. He's on the 3rd level of these bunk beds.
So this is
storage
what
was.
All these girls have been shitting on Cara, calling her a homewrecker. This is why, because she literally says, your girlfriend is boring, fuck me instead.
Yeah, it's indirectly, that's just about what she said.
Yeah.
And
it's not a good look. I know she was drunk. Not a good look.
No, it's not. There's no way around it. That was very straight up what she was doing. No ifs, ands, or buts. You can't spin that. She was trying to get with a dude in a very committed relationship.
Yep. And just to make another guy jealous too. Not even
yeah,
serious.
Yeah, which is a really petty thing to do.
Yeah.
a guy that like you're not in a relationship. You don't
You're
have
not
like
in
any,
it, so
any
basically
ties with this guy.
You're trying to fuck up another relationship just to get back at a guy that over
You were
a petty
never
hookup
in a
that
relationship
you were
with.
never in a relationship.
Exactly.
Yep.
Very childish by Kara here.
Yep.
And we will see if Paulie falls in line.
Paulie. So
Vanilla midget.
this leads us to the big climax of the episode. Kayla and Melissa. So Kayla and Kaylee were arguing about this rumor that happened with Tony and Kayla supposedly hooking up.
Right.
Which I don't think happened at all, and I think that was just something that Melissa and Kaylee did just because they didn't like Kayla, so they wanted to talk shit about her online.
Which is interesting. I'm going to bring up real quick because Kaylee and Melissa were besties way back when's in the days.
Yeah.
And then they had a falling out, and then they went on the challenge season 31. And we're all like, I hate you, Bish. And she's like, I hate you, though. And they kind of seem chill.
No, they are. Because
They are?
Because last season they realized, like, Kaylee came in not liking Melissa, but then she realized towards the end that she didn't really have anyone there, so then Melissa ended up coming back to her, and they were friends again. So I think they're fine.
Cute. See, friendships
They've always been
mended.
they've always been like a frenemies thing. It was
Yeah.
never like, because like, you know, their issues are like stem from like a couple years ago stuff, and they can get over that. So, but they were arguing over it. Then Melissa strolls up into the room while Kayla's sitting there. I'm not really entirely sure what the verbiage that they used, but they were
there was a
joining
lot
each
of noise.
other.
going
a lot
on
of
in
yelling
there.
that I couldn't comprehend, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
They were more focused on showing the reactions of the other people in the room, like Tori and Sylvia.
Yeah, they're all like, Kayla and Melissa were always like in the lower thirds of like the shot while they were just like panning the crowd, kind of thing. They weren't like making them the focal point.
No.
Oddly enough, I mean, that's kind of what you do when you're a cameraman. From my experience, you're always just trying to get like reaction shots. So that's kind of the way that they were doing it. I mean, it's two people standing still yelling at each other. It's time to go get some shots of some people wearing blue wigs, because that's what's really important.
So Melissa gets too close to Kayla, and she's had enough. Shoves her back.
Let's be fair, real quick. They showed it really quick. Melissa crawled on the bed and raised her hand up like she was gonna punch her, and then there was just like a meaningless cut to the audience, and then cut back, and there she was like backed up, and then like set Kayla off one last time, and Kayla stood up.
Yeah.
But originally, before Kayla stood up, Melissa had literally crawled on the bed and raised a fist to this girl. So it was about to pop off just right there.
Yeah.
So that was definitely some antagonizing from Melissa all the way.
And it's hard to really make out what happened, but it looks like Melissa tried to throw a punch in there, and Kayla, I don't even know.
Well, when they were
Tori
standing up, it
broke
looked like
quick.
it looked like Kayla made the first move when she pushed her.
She pushed her, yeah, and then Melissa came back with something. And then they kind of wrestled each other to the ground or on the bed.
Yeah, and that's
then that was when security came
Bananas, Tori, and security.
Bananas was breaking. Was Bananas actually holding people?
He actually was. He was leaning over.
I think he might have grabbed Melissa out of there.
Yeah.
Kaylee grabbed Melissa.
That's why when he said later when he was
that's shocking
pooping
that
all
Bananas
over
would do
Kayla.
that. That's not.
Yeah, he actually jumped
in.
in.
It seems not out of his character to be the bouncer that jumps in there and breaks up a fight.
Yeah, it's not, especially a girl fight.
Yeah.
You got to watch out for the claws. So, yeah, Bananas did. He was leaned over.
And then in the morning, Bananas calling out Kayla for trying to play the victim and act like Melissa was only coming at her.
Which was very funny, because then Kayla said, "Were you even there?" And he was like, "Are you kidding me? I was breaking up the fight." Like, he literally was like, probably had touched, like rubbed up against Kayla at some point, or even grabbed her at some point during that confrontation. Kayla had no clue he was in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he really laid it in on her, and he was completely right.
Yeah. He calls her a victim. It takes one to know one.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Bananas.
Mr. Bananas.
Devin bullying the girls and him last season, according to him. Just in his mind only.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just, she was like very in the wrong when she was playing that victim card. Not to say
They both fucked up.
Yeah, they were both very in the wrong in general.
Listen, I can't hold it against Kayla for fighting back if Melissa was like getting that close to her, because Melissa was the instigator of the fight, but they both threw hands, which is the only rule in the challenge. So yeah, I mean, you both deserve to go. Just the way it is.
You out skis. You can't do that stuff. I mean, when are people gonna learn? Like seriously. Especially in these
$1 million.
In these newer seasons, they've been extra rigid as socially the times have changed. They've been even more cracking down on that kind of stuff, and with the exception of Jasmine hitting her own partner, which is still incredible that she didn't get kicked off the show for that. Oh, yeah. Still mind blowing.
When she punched the mirror out, that was a different season, but yeah. So the next morning, TJ strolls up and lets him know that they're both at. Not even like a build up too. It was just like I appreciate they were trying to rush this episode. I feel like, but it actually made it good because like you didn't have to wait for like normally they'd be like, so unfortunately for you two, commercial comes back. Unfortunately for you two, you're out of here. Yeah. Right, he'd make some big speech about like that behavior is completely unacceptable. You both are gone. He just quickly was like, "You're both gone. That's it."
Yeah. Well, he still said it was unacceptable. Yeah, he's like, last night we had Kayla and Melissa. You guys had a confrontation, and because of that, you're gone. Physical confrontation is completely unacceptable, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
So for your partners. And that's when you get the music.
Yeah.
And they go off air, leaving a cliffhanger for Kaylee and Cam left in limbo. Mm-hmm. What's gonna happen to them?
I think we both kind of know.
We know
what's going on there.
Oh, we know. Same way that we know that Tony's showing up.
We won't say it though, just for the sake of the show.
Yeah, for all
just
of
like
those
we know that
there.
mercenaries are showing up at some point.
Well, let's be fair. That's been in the previews.
Yes.
In fact, not only has it been in the previews through like a quick shot or anything, but vocally was said in the preview. It was like the mercenaries are here to take your place. Like we've literally vocalized it.
We got a hot take coming in from Chalmers, fresh off the block.
Did he send you a hot take?
Yeah, he DM'd me a
right
hot take.
now.
Yeah, he said.
Well, that's really convenient because we are moving into the sauna
yeah.
as we speak. When did he send that to you?
42 minutes ago.
And this is your first time you're looking at it?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So I guess we will start off this sauna.
Maybe he's just trying to talk to me, but I'll go ahead and read it right now.
All right. So we're going to start off the sauna with a hot take from Chalmers.
All right. This completely goes against what we just said 5 minutes ago. Cara is awesome. I love what she's doing. She's having fun and is just picking a rookie a season to bang, starting on Bloodlines, then Kyle, now Paulie. So that's his hot take.
That's not really a hot take.
Well, he titled it Hot Take.
Oh.
People were shitting on Cara in the thing, so that's his hot take. He thinks it's awesome.
His hot take is about... Oh, okay.
Is that he likes what Cara's doing, fucking all these...
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's fine, yeah.
To be honest, though, the only reason I even have an issue with this is Cara's social media nonsense that she does, where she always makes it out to be where she can never do no wrong, and she's about women empowerment and all this other shit, which we can clearly see her behavior this episode... Not good at all.
So. No, she really went back against everything she preaches. And yeah, you're right. That is a hot take because no one supports Cara, and see Chalmers jump on the train right there. I thought he was talking about like Cara and Paulie together was like a hot take, and I was like, what are you talking about? But yeah, that's steamy because no one likes Cara.
And in other Twitter drama, and I put this out there, Amanda last week calling Cara a home-wrecking horse bag on Twitter.
Oh my God.
As we can see this episode, Amanda's never wrong when she calls people home-wrecking horse bags.
The alliteration.
Cara, a home-wrecking horse bag. Whatever a horse bag is, I mean, and Shane seemed to take issue with Cara's horses on his little interviews that he was doing.
Everyone takes issues with Cara's horses.
They're just annoyed of seeing Cara and her stupid horse. It seems like.
I still think that people harp her way too hard for the fact that she likes horses and that she has a horse. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's just funny.
But, like, everyone just rips her apart for it.
Just call her a horse girl, whatever the hell it is. So, all right, so on the topic of Amanda, who I've refrained from talking about too much on this episode.
proud of you.
I think that the Joss and Amanda couple is the best looking couple in the history of the challenge. I am throwing that out there right now. That is my hot take. Deal with it.
All right.
And that is a legit hot take, not like a prediction or whatever. But that's legit.
Well, what other?
I had this brewing for. My phone dropped. I had this brewing for a while because I actually knew that this was going to happen a couple weeks ago.
And
you can tell from social media, but yeah.
So, I gotta say about that. Can you name me some other challenge couples
that was really good looking
that I can just think of? I mean, well, there's Johnny and Avery.
Johnny and Avery.
There's that.
CT and Diem.
Yeah, I'm thinking of.
Zach and
for some reason I can only think of Ty and Paula right now.
Ty and Emily. Zach and Jenna, nah. No way.
Brad and Tori.
Brad and Tori. I mean, it's too early to call them a couple. It's been one episode,
right?
But I'm just saying in general, like as far as like.
Well, they're very.
They were close. It wasn't just
yeah.
like a. It wasn't just like a. It didn't seem to be just like a one-time thing. Like they were together for most of the episode. So.
Jemmy and Knight.
Which I mean, no. Well,
they were beautiful.
There was one that I just thought
beings.
of, but I forgot. Camilla and Corey. Does that count? Or
That's
Corey and Kayla.
Those are also.
Those are great choices.
Those are. That's tough. I mean, like Kayla and Corey.
Is
like
Joss better looking than Corey? Is the question. Because Joss was.
Say yes.
The thing is, there was a survey on Reddit, and Joss was almost 50% of people said Joss was the best looking guy on the season.
Mm-hmm.
So he was one for that, and then Amanda was voted the third best looking girl
on the season.
Yeah.
Was Corey on the list because he was a mercenary?
No. But
No.
I don't think I still think the results would have been the same.
I think
CT got the second most votes still.
Classic.
People still think CT is attractive at this point. Like
they love
attractive?
that dad bod, man. There's something about it. I was reading actually. I think I was on like one of those like Snapchat apps about like how there's like an actual genuine attraction to a dad bod because it shows like maturity and age and like fatherly like figure. And like girls like there's like a higher potential for attraction because of it. Mm-hmm. That's what I was reading, but it's, as I said, it's from one of those Snapchat apps, on the Discover side, which most of the time are complete bogus. But I can see it. So I think that's a good take. So I'm gonna lay one out right here. Derek and Tori will make their way into last place of the first challenge.
So they're gonna get last on the right away.
Yes.
All right.
And the reason why I'm saying that is that Mr. Self-proclaimed chocolate himself is just gonna F up hard. I originally had this written as as Derek will find his way into last place, and then I just wrote because they're a team, so I think tagged her.
There still would be tough to beat in elimination. I think.
I think so too.
That early.
I'm not saying they're getting eliminated.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling Derek's gonna just.
So my prediction, my hot take for next episode is we're gonna see at least 2 of these relationships result in like legitimately like hooking up, like sex hooking up, not just making out. Like we're gonna see that next episode.
You think that these relationships are moving fast?
So either Kyle, Faith, Amanda, Joss, or
Pauly
Cara. 2 of them are gonna happen next episode.
All right. You think we got some fast movers on the season?
Yeah.
Got to get to it.
Well, a couple of them were already making out, so that's a good sign.
They're making moves, making $1 million moves.
$1 million moves.
All right, I got another one right here, and this one is me and Brian discussed a little bit, so it's a bit of a joint take. We were referring to confessionals and who's going to be getting most confessionals on the season. However, we decided not to make a take about who will get the most confessionals because really, whoever gets the most confessionals is almost always the winner,
or someone who makes the final.
Really, we're just predicting. At that point, we'd just be predicting the winners of the show. So we decided that we were going to predict who has the most confessionals as of the episode they get eliminated.
Or how about average?
Or like average per episode.
Average
That's
per
also
episode.
good. I decided that Natalie will have.
That's an interesting choice.
My original was that Natalie will have the most confessionals as of the episode she gets eliminated, or it could be also average now. And my reasoning behind that is she had she had her little segment brewing here. They spawned a little bit of a storyline for her. But from what I saw from last season, she kind of gets her own episode sometimes, and there will be quite a few, like 2 minimum, I think, this season, maybe even
Natalie
3.
episodes?
There be like that she will be the leader in confessionals on the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a good chance that she will be, as of the time she gets eliminated, either run the average or the highest amount, which would in turn actually also be the average. By the time she's eliminated,
I'm gonna say Tori gets the most average confessionals because, well, they love to use her confessionals for one thing.
They
and also,
really do.
Also, she's gonna have a lot of time talking about how shitty her partner is.
She sure is, especially after they lose next week. She's gonna have a lot of time to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think those are both very good options. I think both those girls will be getting a lot of confessionals up until the time.
Hopefully,
that
it's
they're off
not
the show.
obvious one like Bananas.
Who I believe didn't he lead this episode in confessionals?
Nah, he was the second most. There's a lot of people. It was pretty.
Who's the
jam-packed.
most?
I believe like almost a bunch of redemption people got the most.
Really?
Yeah, you want me to look it up?
Yeah, I'd like to see.
Go ahead, read
while
off your
you
next.
while you look it up, I will read off another hot take before we get to our bombshell. And this one, here it is that one of us being me and Brian, will pass out from heat stroke this season because my AC still doesn't work up here, and it is scorching hot in this room. So one of us is done for by the time the season is over. Okay. One of us is going down for the count, and we're going to need to take a break while we're recording because we're getting into the dog days of summer, and it's hot right now. My palms are sweaty. My knees
are weak.
My knees are a little bit moist right now. Like my pants are starting to stick. My back's my shirt's sticking to my shoulders.
The most confessionals were Bananas, Brittany, Cara, Maria, Jenna, and Kaylee, all with 6.
All right.
So yeah.
So a lot of people though. There's a lot of confessionals this episode. Mm-hmm. There really was. And I think that's just about going to do it with the sauna, so we're going to have to take it to the end here with the bombshell. Brian. Hey, Earth the Brian.
Oh, sorry, I got another shocking development on the Twitter sphere here. I won't read this. That is too much. I won't say it.
All right. So, our bombshell for episode 1. Challenge. Final Reckoning. Season 32. Said that out of order, but it's okay. Will be known as the never-ending season because they will all come back from redemption and then be sent back, and then come back because this season's never gonna end. It's forever. Season 32, forever. It's gonna go until they build up enough revenue to make $1 million to give to these people. Season 32, forever. That's gonna do it for Challenge Takes Podcast. Episode 1, The Final Reckoning. I'm Joe.
Have a good day. All night.
That's Brian, by the way.